Installing prefinished stair treads from stairtreads.com. First, we need to remove the existing carpet and padding. This is usually as simple as making a cut in the carpet and strongly tugging to remove it. But be careful because there will likely be nails and staples embedded in the carpet. Once we remove the carpet and pad, there will likely be some nails and staples that will need to be removed in the sub-tread. Hammer any exposed nails or remove them with a set of pliers. The idea is to have a clean and smooth set of substairs to install the new retrofit stair treads. Be prepared to see a fair amount of dust and dirt. Carpet is notorious for trapping dirt and debris. Once the existing stair treads are clean, we will cut any overhang from the old treads using a circular saw. Here we set the depth of the saw so it cuts just through the tread. We don't want to cut into the riser or support stringer. Now we measure and mark the overhang of the old stair tread so we know where to cut. We want the old tread to be flush with the old riser so there is no overhang. Once we have our line drawn, we'll cut the nosing from each tread. With the circular saw we won't be able to cut all the way to the skirt board, but that's okay. Some people choose to use a reciprocating saw or a saber saw to cut closer to the skirt board. Be careful here because nails may be present. Also remember that once you cut the nose, it may break, so don't stand on the tread you just cut. While we do want a nice clean cut, perfection is not the goal at this step. We'll complete our cuts later. The main goal at this stage is to cut the majority of the overhang flush with the riser below it. We simply work our way up the staircase, cutting any overhang from each stair tread, so all the existing stair treads are flush with the existing risers. Now we remove our cut nosings. If you have pine treads, such as these, a light tap with a hammer will complete the cut by breaking the board. If you have oak treads or some other material, you may need to complete the cut with a saber saw. Now we'll use a chisel to clean up any uneven ends. We want a smooth and square front edge to line up our new retro treads. We'll go through each tread and remove any parts missed by the saw. Notice how easy it is to remove any extra wood with just a gentle tap of the chisel. As before, we work our way up the staircase ensuring that the front treads are clean and square. This will allow our treads to be installed hassle-free and ensure that our new retro treads and risers sit squarely on the tread below. In many cases, the sub-tread may actually be OSB or plywood and not have an overhang. If that's the case, this step can be omitted entirely. Once we finish squaring our existing treads, we'll check for any squeaks. Stand on each tread and give a light bounce to check for any play. If we find any play or squeaks, we'll drive a 2-inch deck screw into the stringer. This extra step will make for many years of squeak-free enjoyment. After we've checked our stairs, we take measurements for our first riser. Using a table saw, we rip the riser to the required height. And then bring it inside to dry fit it. Now, with the riser in place but not secured, we check our front to back depth for the stair tread. Using a table saw, we rip the tread to the required depth. Notice how we've covered the saw with painter's tape to prevent scratching as we cut the tread face down. Next, we use a stair measuring tool such as a step doctor to measure our tread width. To use a tool, simply place in the required space, expand the wings to match the skirt board, and tighten the wing nuts. Then we lay the tool on top of our new pre-finished stair tread and scribe the edges for our cut. We use this tread because the ends of each and every tread will not necessarily be a perfect 90-degree angle. As you see here, this tread has a fairly sharp angle. Cutting the stair tread is now as simple as lining up our scribe mark with our sliding miter saw. Now we cut the tread face up to reduce any grain splintering. Once we've cut one side, repeat the process for the opposite scribe mark. Now we'll dry fit the tread and riser to make sure our angles and measurements are acceptable. Once we've determined that we have a good fit, we apply a bead of construction adhesive like liquid nails to the back of the riser and press it in place. We'll shoot a couple of brad nails through the face of the riser to hold it in place while the glue sets. Now we apply a liberal amount of construction adhesive to the sub-tread and lay our new pre-finished retro tread in place. Plan on using about 1 tube of adhesive per tread and riser. We gently tap the tread into place and use our nail gun to shoot 4 finished nails into the tread, 1 in each corner. Finished nails leave a very small hole, and the nail gun will recess the fastener below the surface of the tread so it won't be noticeable. From here, we check our next riser dimension and cut to fit. Again, we'll apply a bead of construction adhesive to the back of the riser. When installing the risers, we always want to install the ripped edge up. This way, any uneven cuts will be hidden under the nose of the new stair tread, and the flat edge will show on top of the tread below. Use a couple of finished nails to hold the riser in place, and we're on to the next step. We want to ensure the top of the riser is flush with the top of the old tread. Just as before, we check our tread depth, use a table saw to rip the tread, measure our width, and then cut the tread to length with our sliding miter saw. We'll apply another tube of adhesive to the sub-tread in a zigzag pattern. We want to ensure proper adhesion, but we also want to keep the adhesive just off the front of the tread so it won't leak onto the riser when the tread is installed. Next, we'll tap the new retro stair tread in place. We use finished nails to hold the tread, and on to the next tread and riser. We continue measuring and cutting each tread and riser individually because there is likely some variance from step to step. If the tread is a tight fit, use a rubber mallet to tap the tread into place without damaging the finish. We simply work our way up the stairs, tread by tread, until we've completed our install. Because these stair treads are pre-finished, we can walk on them immediately after installation, and there's no messy polyurethane to deal with. An average installation of retrofit stair treads only takes about a half day from removing the carpet to the final stair tread. Pre-finished retrofit stair treads are only available online at stair-treads.com. For more information, visit us online and learn how you can have a new set of real wood stairs.